Hello, I'm Olena Gryniuk, and I'm excited to invite you to a new episode of SME Banking Conversations, which we record in Kraków at Comarch Innovation Space. In these episodes, we will dive into the world of factoring systems, exploring the reasons behind the transitioning from the old system to the new ones, and strategies to ensure a smooth and effective transition for the organizations and customers. I will sit down with Karol Leszczyński, Product Development Manager at Comarch Factoring Platform, one of the leading tech providers here in the CE region, and Katarzyna Matias, Product Development Director at mFactoring, one of the leading factoring companies in Poland. Together, we will delve into the complexity of this transition and discuss practical insights to optimize the process. Karol and Katarzyna, I'm very glad that we're recording this conversation here at Comarch Innovation Space. Karol, thank you once again for hosting us here. And yes, it's been loud, I would say, here on the Polish market about your cooperation. So I am really glad that I have this opportunity to ask you both about that in detail.
It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, and thank you, Olena and Karol. It's nice to share our experience with you.
Comarch Factoring Platform is a cloud-based platform. And we all know and we do see that here in the CE region, financial companies are moving towards or moving their operations to the cloud. So Katarzyna, my first question to you, was it the key factor in your decision to choose Comarch as your technical partner and provider for a new factoring platform? Or were there other reasons behind your shift or your decision to shift to a new factoring system?
Thank you, Olena. That's the good question to begin with. So why Comarch and why we wanted to change our system? So first of all, we wanted to meet our clients' expectations. We also observed Polish factoring market and decided we needed a change, a logic of the system based on balance to the one based per invoice settlement. And of course, that the fact that Comarch Factoring Platform is a cloud-based system is an advantage, but it wasn't a key factor in our decision. So choosing the new provider, we needed to factor in few aspects, such as to what extent our requirements were covered, time of implementation, infrastructure, methodology on working on projects, and last but not least, the price. So taking it all into consideration, we chose Comarch.
I know that before signing the agreement, you had functional workshops between mFactoring and Comarch teams, and I think that this is extremely important. I'm not sure whether other tech providers are doing this on the market. So, Karol, was it your usual way of doing things, let's say? And Katarzyna, how did you like the experience?
I think it's beginning more and more popular in our industry right now. It means that after signing a letter of intent, we are preparing workshops where we are going through the system block by block to show our clients all the functionalities, how the system works, how the, as Kasia mentioned, logic works. We are providing a separate implementation team for those workshops, because we also need to remember that our most important thing is also production of the software. So we want to be sure that our developers, our programmers, are still on the production of our platform, and the separate implementation team helps our clients to understand the system.
Yeah, and basically we had some time limitation in that project, so we knew that negotiations leading to signing a contract would be time-consuming. So it was our mutual idea to do these functional workshops in the meantime, and we like this idea. So, as Karol mentioned, we decided to cooperate having only a letter of intent signed. And I think that the willingness of both parties to cooperate gave us this flexibility in that project. So we've started functional workshops with the meetings on a daily basis. We took all our requests for proposal points to see whether we are on the same page, whether we understood each other well. We divided this document into sections to select our must-have requirements for go-live and the others nice-to-have for a later phase. And during that meetings, we focused on each functionality one by one and delved into details to see whether the system works exactly as we expected or it should be developed further.
It's like Kasia mentioned, it's all about the flexibility, because we divided our implementation in, for instance, 3 phases. And we decided that this particular functionalities must be implemented on phase 1. We can wait with other functionality for the phase 2, etc. So I think flexibility is a key word here.
Mm-hmm. How many people were engaged in that project from your side as Comarch and from your side as mFactoring?
So after the workshop stage, then we provided other members of our team. In this case, we are working with 6 separate development teams that are combined with programmers, analysts, and of course project managers and scrum masters. So each separate team works on 2-week sprints on separate functionalities. So after two weeks, we are providing our clients the improvement of some functionalities, maybe the new functionalities. So basically, it was about 6 teams combined with 5 people in 5-6 people in each team.
I know. Yeah. And I think that at our company in mFactoring, it wouldn't be the exaggeration to say that there were times that half of the people were involved, in the project, especially during these workshops, during these functional workshops, and during tests. And of course, we have had a proper project team with project manager and product owner, and also representatives of each department. But while they were working on the project, other people has to take on their duties, so they were indirectly involved also in that project. So it was a very intense time for all of us.
How exactly did those teams cooperate within or at the development stage and after the implementation?
So we are cooperating on a daily basis. That means that our both teams from Comarch side and mFactoring side are speaking on a daily basis. So each day at the beginning of the day, we have a call when we are discussing the implementation that we made yesterday and the plans for the next day. Maybe there we have some questions about some functionalities. Maybe mFactoring has some questions for us. So, as I said, on the daily basis, the close cooperation is very important here.
Yes, and during the implementation, you've asked, as we bought the product off the shelf, we agreed to develop only our must-have requirements for the MVP version for go-live. So the rest we left for later phases. And this is important here to mention that Comarch is working on agile methodology in their project. So we were able to see the development and the results of development every 2 weeks, and then test it and approve it. And this is very useful also right now after the implementation, because getting to know the system better, we've changed some of the requirements we agreed at the very beginning to the others, so we needed, but we didn't know about this because on the early stage we couldn't recognize this as we hadn't known the system back then. Comarch approach is to work with quarterly releases, So right now we are working like this, that we are planning the backlog and all the development for each quarter. Then we are receiving the features to test, we approve it, and we implement it into the system with the quarterly packages.
Yes, so in our case, as Kasia mentioned, we have a quarterly release. So we have 4 releases during the year when we are providing the new software functionalities, also improvement of our system.
Katarzyna, I'd like to ask you about customers' migration, because this is the main pain point in all the process of changing the systems. So how did you do it in your organization? Was it a big bang approach when you migrate all the customers simultaneously, or you did it step by step?
After go live, we decided to implement all the new clients to our new system. So all the new clients were implemented, the new system was introduced to them from day 0. With the existing portfolio of clients, we decided to take this step-by-step approach. Reason for that was that we have a lot of clients, we have a big clients portfolio, and also together with changing the system, we decided to refresh our documentation, make it more client-oriented. So we needed a time to have our clients become familiar with the latest version and to sign it. I have to say that there are positive sides of that kind of approach. So we could get to know the system better and to prepare our clients properly for migration. And of course, after migration, we had the space, and it was convenient for us to have the time to answer all the clients' questions. But now, having that experience, I have to admit that it was a tedious process, and changing the system for the next time, I would recommend this big bang approach.
Okay.
So of course there are pros and cons of both approaches, but in this case, when we are migrating the clients step by step, after, for instance, 30% of client migration, we are able also to see the feedback of those clients, because we must remember that when we are changing a system to the new one, our clients can't expect that it will be the copy of the old one. So also clients need to learn how the new system works. So this feedback after 1 month, for instance, is also very, very important in the case, because in the big bang approach, the clients ended up Friday with the old system and wakes up on Monday with the new one, with of course all the data migrated. So that's the main difference during this approach.
Okay.
How long did it take from the moment of the signing of the agreement about the cooperation till the go live moment?
Starting from signing this letter of intent to go live, it took us about 9 months.
Okay.
So I think this is both surprising and impressive.
Yeah, okay. So what's the first feedback of the customers and employees?
The first feedback from our new clients was very positive, but we were impatient to hear from the migrated clients, those who changed the system. This feedback was also very positive. Clients especially appreciate the front end, which is very intuitive and user-friendly, and client can manage by himself the system. He can manage their users, create his own reports, he can create the file formats for his needs. So we really think that it's something very good for our clients. And of course, we are on the regular basis, we are conducting also this Net Promoter Score survey among our clients. And one of the questions there is about the system. So we are asking the clients about cooperation and the new system, and there is a plan to listen to the client's voice and to develop and change the system together with them according to their needs. And this was our priority for the beginning, to satisfy our clients. With regard to our internal clients, so our employees, I have to say that there is some work to be done. We have some challenges, especially in operations, to improve in payment matching, for example, process, and to reduce numbers of clicks required in the system. Yeah? So this is what is before us.
Yes, and I think it's worth to mention that when we are preparing the system, in case of front office, we ask the end users at the end of the day about their opinion about what maybe we should improve in our system. So as Kasia mentioned, the NPS survey is very important for us as well. And in case of the back office, there is a little bit different story, because in this case we are asking the factor employees to show us maybe when we can where we can improve our system. But it's strictly the same. We are using our Comarch user experience laboratory in this case, and with close cooperation. And I think that at the end of the day, as we see at our front office, the result is very, very impressive.
Now, when you have this project, let's say, behind you, the system is implemented, are there things that you think you could have done differently, both of you?
In my opinion, the thing that I would change was a time frame, because 9 months is of course impressive. It's very good for both organizations, but at the end of the day, I think we both were a little bit tired because of the speed we needed to have during this implementation. Okay.
Yeah, so I agree the pace of the project, because we were really working hard to make it happen. I mentioned about migration, and also I think that I would give more attention to tests, just so you know that we could have tested the system better and know it better before we started to work with it. Yeah, so that's from me.
Okay. So what are plans for the future?
That's a very good question. I'm a very big enthusiast of creating our roadmap, about creating our future with our clients. We also want to be very transparent in this case as well. That means that we are creating our roadmaps for 2 years ahead. So that means in 2024, as right now, we are planning very carefully our works, our new functionalities, improvement of our functionalities. And when we think about 2025, we ask our clients about their needs, what they would like to have also in our system. And we are trying to figure it out with our product owner, our development team, to meet the client expectations.
Yeah, so thank you very much for this conversation.